How's it going, everybody? Wild Man Wes here.
I'm Jefe.
And welcome to another edition of What's Your Poison? Well, Jefe has brought us 4 different distinct beers. And
distinct beers, yes.
We're going to try them out. So Jefe, why don't you let us know what's all going on here?
So I made friends many years ago with a gentleman out in the East Coast area, North State, New York, in Rochester area. He and I did a beer trade, so I gave him some stuff that he could only find out in Chicago, and he gave me some stuff that he could only find out in Rochester. So I have some really fun treats here. This one's called Very, Very Sneaky. It's the butler from Mr. Deeds. His face is literally in some of the berries.
Oh yeah, I love
it.
And John Turturro's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So it wasn't just the quote reference, but his picture's all over it too. So this is a fruited sour made with lactose, so it's gonna be real thick and real sweet.
Sweet. All right.
Next one's very interesting. So it's got the Back to the Future car. It's got the license plate that says "Out of Beer," and it says "Boat Drinks 3."
that I love because I'm a big fan of the Back to the Future trilogy, and I'm also a Parrot Head and a big Jimmy Buffett fan, and seeing Boat Drinks with Back to the Future, that big warm spot in my heart. So
what makes this really interesting is that it is the style of a Mai Tai Sour India Pale Ale.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm sold on the idea. I'm just hoping that it.
So this is going. I'm going to guess a few things about it, but this is going to be really interesting.
All right.
I've seen some other beers where they had characteristics of like a mixed drink, and that's kind of what I'm thinking there.
Fair
This
enough.
one's pretty simple. Just called Llama Kisses. Very cute. It's just an IPA. Look
So
at the little llama
Ain't
kisses.
that so
Of
cute?
the little hearts. This is from Swiftwater Brewing. Oh, the last one. This was also from Swiftwater, by the way. But Swiftwater Brewing out there. And I've got this guy. So this guy, he's Big Beer.
Big beer.
Young Lion. And this is also out of Rochester. And this is a bourbon barrel-aged stout.
I
With
love when he brings me these things.
coconut and almond.
Oh.
So like almond joy. That's what
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
One of my favorite beers that I drink every year in November, December area is Death by Coconut by Oscar Blues. Fantastic. Okay. So this one,
I've
very
heard
hopeful.
I've heard of Death by Coconut. I've never had it, but I've
Very
heard
hopeful.
such good things about it.
Absolutely cool. So we're gonna start how we always start with fruit and light, and then we're gonna go down the IPA world. But right in between the IPAs, we have a sour IPA, which is right in there, and then we're gonna end it with big beer, the big boy.
Yeah. All right, you ready, Jefe?
Oh yeah.
You ready, folks? Let's get started.
All right. So the very first beer we have here is Very, Very Sneaky.
Very, very sneaky.
And it's from Hamburg or Hamburg. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Hamburg. It says, "Whoa, this sour really sneaks up on you. Packed with blackberry, blueberry, boysenberry, cranberry, raspberry, strawberry, and lactose. Very, very sneaky."
Very, very, very.
And then it says, "Do not underestimate the sneakiness of this beer." Brewed and canned at their facility in Hamburg, New York. Okay, so that's where this gets from. Very cool. So I'm gonna guess really dark red, purplish berry color.
It's gonna have a
Yep.
nice.
More of a red, light red. That's not bad. Oh, it's kind of sits dark. That's cool.
Okay.
Lot of bubbles going
Definitely
on.
has a cranberry.
Oh yeah, that cranberry color.
Cute.
Yeah.
I can smell from here. I'm smelling the fruitiness.
And sour. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the
Yep.
lactose, you're seeing a lot of the thickness here, cloudiness in the head. This is your
Very
lactose.
champagne-y.
So the thing with lactose is that it is a food compound that literally cannot be eaten by the yeast. So the lactose taste and that sweetness stays throughout the whole thing. Whereas most ingredients that you put into beer, the yeast will eat the sugars, but that lactose is a compound that does not have edible sugars for the yeast. So your sweetness can come from the yeast, but it's definitely coming from the lactose and the berries. They're really trying
The
to
head
take it away.
definitely.
Yeah, it
goes down
dissipated pretty quick. Yeah, so it's a sour, so it's not gonna last forever.
Ooh.
That's not bad at all. That's really tasty. That is okay. So that lactose also gave it like a medium body. So it's like a little, like, it's not thin. It's not really super. Woo! It really dries your mouth out like that.
It does.
It's not like Warhead sour tart. No, it's like berry tart.
And I think the
berries.
Well, I think the lactose definitely, adds to that. To be honest, I mean, with all the different berries that are in there, I'm only really getting the raspberry tart and the strawberry finish at the end.
Yeah, you do get a strawberry.
I'm not really getting anything else though. I mean, it's delicious. I'm not getting everything else.
ABV on this puppy is 7.2. That's kind of high for a sour, but with that many berries in there, I would have known. That yeast would have had to gone crazy on all that fruit, man.
I mean, honestly, I would have, picked this for maybe like a 4.8.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
Like minimum.
You would assume.
I would say like
lower alcohol.
I'd say 4.8 to about a 5.2, and this doesn't taste like it. But then again, wait. Maybe when you get more to the bottom, you might feel more of that kick. A little more boozy.
Little? I guess now that I'm looking for it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, it definitely it tastes like a wine.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely a very, very common flavor profile, especially with all the fruits in there. And the level of carbonation in there, because it's not so acidic where like that carbonation was kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's not enough proteins in there.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's just that they really focused on the fruit and the lactose and the yeast eating the fruit to make this. So I mean that's pretty cool. It's just honestly a one and done for me.
Yeah. I mean for me it's just like, if I'm wanting a sour beer.
Sure.
I don't know if this is the one that I would really want to go for. I mean, like
it's
you
heavy.
said, like,
it's a little heavier.
It is heavy. I mean, this is definitely, like you said, a one and done, and because of just the ABV, I mean, definitely more like a wine.
Yeah.
Because of
one that I would split with a friend.
For all you wine connoisseurs or beer drinkers that want to try something similar to wine that if you haven't had it before, I would recommend this. I would. But...
Yeah, if you say you don't like beer and you like wine, you would like this beer. That's just, I always say, if you say you don't like beer, you just haven't had the right one. This would be for wine drinkers. Or at least sweet red wine drinkers.
Okay. For my grading...
Or Moscato drinkers.
Oh yeah, but for my grading...
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to take this one down quite a bit.
Go for it.
I'm going to have to give this one 2 3/4.
Really?
The reason why is because of the booziness at the end. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. When I get down to the nitty-gritty of this, it reminds me of Boone's Farm. A little bit because of the berry flavor. It's just like it says, it has all these berries in it, but it's just I'm only getting the raspberry and the strawberry, and I mean the tartness is great. Texture wise, it's especially when you get to the bottom, it reminds me of Boone's Farm. And hey, growing up, especially in my young adult years, Boone's Farm, you're gonna have a bad time. And this is probably why it's a one and done.
Contrary to your point. I think that the one and done literally means that this is such a well-crafted and well-balanced beer. I'm giving this 4.5. I love everything this beer offers, to be honest. So, like, what got me very curious about the craft beer world was that there was so much beer out there that didn't taste anything like beer. So it became a game to get people who didn't normally like beer to enjoy a beer and say, surprise, this is one of those perfect beers that I would say, you want something boozy, I get it. You want something fruity because you don't like the taste of beer, bam. Or you like wine.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When I first started tasting this, I definitely got that. When I got farther down in this glass, that's when I started. Maybe it's kind of like a beer drinker or an alcohol drinker's PTSD almost.
Well, and I can totally get that, but everyone's palate is different depending on their experiences.
Exactly.
So
I'm gonna obviously finish this.
No, for sure. No, but that's just it. Like this is two different sides saying like I'm super impressed that it has a higher ABV. I'm super impressed with the flavor. There's no like bitterness from like the raspberries or anything and blackberries. I was expecting a little bitterness. I'm not getting bitterness. It's tart. It's easy to drink, but it's still a one and done because I don't want to get sick of this. True. Very cool.
Well, now that we're finishing up the sour, we're going to move on to something a little more up both our alleys, both geek and music-wise. So, let's move on.
So our second beer is the first beer from Swiftwater Brewing. This is in Rochester, New York. And this one is the Mai Tai Sour India Pale Ale Boat Drinks 3. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Out of beer is what the license plate says, as opposed to out of time. And I'm very interested in this. So we're basically seeing Mai Tai, which is pineapple orange juice with rum and a little bit of grenadine. So it's like a sweet, but rum drink. I love rum drinks.
I have to, we gotta do a little close-up on the side of this. There is a hoverboard on the side of this can.
It's a hoverboard.
Oh.
Also shows you the ABV of 6.0. Not bad. That's pretty good. It's IPA.
I'm still waiting on our hoverboards, by the way.
Waiting on those hoverboards, man.
I mean, shoot, it's been 4 years. I mean,
been 4 years. What the hell? So, let's see the color. Yellow.
Very yellow.
Very yellow. Creamy head. Or not creamy
More,
head, but creamy body.
more orange than yellow.
It looks like orange juice. I'm trying to see if I get any head off this guy.
Hi-yo!
Head is important. That is thick. Thick. My goodness, that's thick. It's
Oh my gosh.
straight pineapple juice.
I know.
That's what that looks like. It just and there's no head.
You can barely see anything through the stem of the glass.
It smells like pineapple juice. This is gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough. You seem
Hey.
like it's a bad thing.
Let's see what happens.
You mean to tell me I've only got 5 minutes to get to school? Oh my.
That tastes like a Mai Tai.
Yeah, it does.
That's all. I don't know why it's an IPA. I don't know why it would be
It's
important
one
that it's an IPA.
damn fine IPA right there.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's like
I'm tasting the
all
hop
right.
at the end. At
Time
the
out.
end. Time
Time
out.
out.
Time out. We're out of time.
Hold on, Claudia. Claudia, come here. Claudia's my horse. She's my high horse. So I'm gonna get up on my high horse here real quick. There's the high horse. Ah, okay.
Okay.
All right, now I'm on my high horse, Claudia. Okay. These are not IPAs. I'm sorry, but these milkshake New England style IPAs are coming out so hazy and not bitter whatsoever. How are you considered an IPA? It doesn't make any sense. This is not an IPA. This is a Mai Tai. It's literally a mixed drink. There's no head. There's no carbonation.
Jefe.
Hold on! I'm still on Claudia. There's absolutely no characteristics of it acting as a beer except that it was brewed like a beer. Guess what? Cider's a beer too. Are you gonna call cider beers all of a sudden? No! Because it's not a beer anymore. This is no longer a beer. All right, Claudia, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me get out. Okay, all right. Thank you, Claudia. All right, get out of here. Get out of here.
You smacked my dead foot. Yeah, that's right. You fix it. Off your high horse. Okay, what I was about to say, even though I wanted to hear you, I wanted to let you finish. I want to let you finish.
I'm not on Claudia anymore. You're
I know.
good.
There is a little bit of the hoppiness after a little while. If you take another drink and give it about 5 seconds. 4, 3,
You son of a bitch.
2. Thank you.
You son of a bitch. Okay.
Hey,
Look.
you wanted to be right, so you
Little hop residue in the aftertaste doth not a beer make. Okay? Maybe. But I'm still... You're okay, Claudia. Stay in the stable. You're good. This is a tasty beverage.
It is.
This is a tasty beverage. I am not arguing the tastiness of this beverage. I am not arguing the craft and the amount of time and effort that it took to put this to life and for it to taste so damn good.
Oh, it is very good.
Not going to argue that. Still don't think it's a beer.
Okay.
So what is your rating, sir?
You know, you're right. It doesn't, I mean, in a sense, you are right. It's definitely not as hazy or as hoppy, bitter as an IPA.
Look, I'm swishing it and I'm not getting any head. This is
But
good. It's a mixed drink. Give me some rocks. Give me a cherry and an orange.
if I had them, I would, but right now you're shit out of luck.
Inconclusive. I can't give it a rating. It's very good. On a tasty scale, I give it 5 thumbs up. But on a beer scale, I cannot give it any pows because I don't think it's a beer.
Okay. I mean, for me personally, I'd give it probably about close to 3 3/4 pounds.
Fair enough.
Mainly because of the fact it doesn't necessarily taste like an IPA. I mean, obviously it's a Mai Tai Indian Pale Ale. So you're getting the best of both worlds, and I think one side of it kind of gives a little more than the other side.
Fine. I will do this. I will give it a PAL rating.
1 PAL rating?
No, I will give it a PAL rating under the known assumption that if this is juice plus beer, technically that's a shandy, not an IPA.
Okay.
So if we called it a sour shandy, or even just a shandy, or even called it just a sour ale, I would be totally fine. But it is no way to me an IPA. So with that being said, if I am going to give it some sort of beer category, I will give it 3.5 pounds.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's super really tasty. It is a very impressive way to go about making a beverage, but it's not a beer. It's just... I don't...
I mean, for me, this might...
Juice. It's just juice.
For me, this might be my one.
I think this is a troll. This is a troll because it just like...
It's not a troll. You know what this is? You know what this is for you? It's your Biff Tannen.
It's my Biff Tannen.
Yep. Buttheads.
It's still really good.
Yeah, it is.
3.5 pounds.
3.5 pounds. All right. Well, while we finish our Mai Tai IPA Shandy, whatever you want to call it, moving on to round 3. We'll see you
For our third beer here today, we have Alpaca Kisses. It's an IPA from Swiftwater Brewing in Rochester, New York.
Alpaca Kisses.
Alpaca Kisses. Oh, jeez. So, it really doesn't say much else besides that. I mean, you know, sometimes beer artwork can be simple. This is simple. It's cute.
It's very cute. This looks like a Hallmark card.
But that's all it tells me. It doesn't tell me what kind of hops. It just says keep cold. And it has 6.6 ABV, which is pretty good, IPA.
Because the last one we did was what, 6.4?
It was just 6.
Oh, 6. Okay.
So,
right around the same spectrum.
yeah, same spectrum.
Like I mentioned about this can, I mean, it literally looks like a Hallmark card, and
It does.
I think the Hallmark card should be that, and just say, "You're loved. Have a beer."
You're loved. Have a beer. Yeah.
A lot of head on this. Very
Little, like, a little rocky.
rocky, but I mean, very, very dark orange juice type or pineapple juice.
Yeah,
type.
kind of. It actually looks almost identical to the last one we had. So let's see. It just says IPA. It doesn't say IPA with lactose. It doesn't say IPA with like pineapple or anything. It says IPA.
It's IPA with a kiss from an alpaca.
It sounds gross, but let's give it a shot. That's an IPA.
It is an IPA.
But
Smooth.
it's really smooth.
Even on the mouthfeel, yeah, I'm getting a little hop. It's a tingle. Maybe that's the alpaca kiss. It's like saying, here's an IPA. It might not be as heavy as you like, but here's an
Are we Frenching? Are we Frenching this alpaca? Because if I barely feel it on my tongue, here's the thing. I'm not getting a lot of flavor. Do you get flavor? Like, what do you taste?
Is there a description?
No, that's what I was just saying. There's no description on the can. It doesn't say anything. So we have to come up with it on our own. What do you taste? Like, what do you taste?
I'm smelling a hint of coriander. A little bit.
Very odd for an IPA.
I know.
I get a little bit of hop right at the front, but then it just drinks like water. Like, really light body.
Is that what an alpaca kiss is supposed to be? Because I'm really bummed.
I think you're reading far too much into the alpaca.
Well, I always read. I read too far into everything. I think most people know this
well,
by
I mean,
now.
it creates, creates good head. You keep swishing it around. That's fine. But I don't really smell anything. I don't really taste anything.
I'm smelling orange or coriander. I just.
No, I mean like spices. Like spices, I smell, but I don't taste the spices. It's just not it's not very strong smelling and it's not very strong tasting. It's just light. I get a little bit of dryness from the hops. I'm really curious what kind of hops they're using.
I mean,
if it's like Cascade or something, those are a little dry.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally,
it doesn't say any. No idea. No frame of reference. It's a beer. I'll give it that.
Yeah, give it that. I mean,
but it's really light.
It almost tastes like if you took boat drinks and you dumped Rolling Rock into it. I think that's what you
like
get.
A mix. I mean, I'm not getting any strong. It looks like the last beer we had, but it doesn't. I just don't get any taste out of it.
I really don't know what to give her.
Now I'm curious. I'm curious if the last two beers we had was a palate wrecker for what we're tasting now. Because I'm just not getting any bitterness. I'm like a little tiny hint right at the beginning.
It's almost like a mix, you know, we were talking about mixing a sour and an IPA, kind of like boat drinks. This one is just like...
It's like a wit, like a slightly hoppy wit beer is what it tastes like.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, I'm just going to say it. It's almost like they took, you know, Honey Vice, and they took Summer Shandy, and they just kind of dumped it in.
But I just...
It's Lyman Kugel's, you know,
but I'm not getting
unnamed
any
child right here.
Are you getting sweetness? That's why I'm asking you. I'm not getting any sweetness out of this thing at all.
No.
I'm not really getting anything. So that's why I don't think it's a mix of like fruity beers. Like this is just
okay, you know,
light, slightly hoppy.
I figured it out at the bottom. It almost tastes like a watered down screwdriver.
Watered down screwdriver. See, you're still getting those fruit, and that's fine. If you're getting fruity notes, that's totally cool.
I mean, it's that orange type or citrusy type flavor.
Okay.
And I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of screwdrivers, and this tastes like if the ice just melted.
But I don't get any residual sweetness or tart or anything. That's just, for me, it's just very bland. So I don't know. I give it 2 pows. I mean, like, no, I don't know. 1.5 pows. I have to go with 1.5 pounds. I mean, like, I'm not mad. I'm just like, if I'm gonna drink a beer, I want to taste something. I want something to be like, hey.
I'm gonna go ahead and say 2 pows because of the fact, flavor-wise, it's okay, but stomach-wise, right now, my stomach's saying, dude, stop fucking drinking this right now.
Well, it's your brain telling you it's not worth it.
It's
really sad. I'm not mad at this beer. I'm not mad at this brewery for making this. I realized both Swiftwater beers that I've talked about, I've had some strong opinion. I'm not trying to have a strong opinion on this one. I don't know. It's just, I guess the more I'm talking, the more dry my mouth is due to that little bit of hop that I get. Like I said, it's kind of maybe I don't know what hops are that are used. I'm gonna look it up because it's really boggling me. I don't know.
Yeah,
1.5 pounds. I mean, I'm not gonna go looking for this. It's cute, but that's where they got you. Well, that's how they get you. Cute artwork.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more beer to go, but just remember, this is your brain. This is your brain on Alpaca Kisses.
This is Young Lion Brewing made a really tasty beer. It is bourbon barrel-aged stout with coconut and almond. Now, obviously I've never had this before, but my only frame of reference is coconut and almond, and the stout has very natural chocolatey taste to it. So I'm really hoping that this thing tastes like an almond joy.
I hope so too.
I'm very excited.
Just looking at the can, there's so many dents in this. I mean, that's why. It is very dark. It is a lot of thick, dark. That looks amazing.
It looks really pretty. that is that dark brown, not cherry oak red, but like dark brown head.
I want to live in this glass right now. I want to live in this glass. That's how amazing that smells.
That smells very good. Looks yeah, it poured thick, but it might be a little thinner than that.
Well, I had very marshmallowy on mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's good. It helps with beer oscillation. So when you're moving the beer around, it stops the beer from.
But I mean, I like it.
It smells so good.
Bourbon-y.
Dry. Little coconut is like a coconut smooth base, not like pop in your face coconut.
Yeah.
And the almond, it's definitely nutty. It's definitely nutty.
Almond is definitely on the mouthfeel and the aroma.
Yes, you get a lot of that. The coconut, I'm surprised is not as strong. Oh, this is only 8.5. That's good.
Oh, only 8.5.
Yes, I say only 8.5 because when you hear the term bourbon barrel aged stout, you don't normally assume
we
it's
think
under
11.
10.
We think 11, 12%. But still, I'm just being smart ass on it.
This is still really tasty.
The coconut is like the alpaca kiss we were missing earlier. Just that little.
Get more on the nose after the first drink.
Okay, wait, drive by.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, but I put some in my mouth and swished it. A lot more coconut. Like when you're not drinking it right away.
Okay.
You just like swish it around for a second. Like, oh, there's more coconut. This is pretty tasty.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, I would want to say one and done, but
yes.
Oh, I can't.
I mean, like you might have
more.
two. Yeah, you might have two.
Well, I'm
this
sure
is definitely one where if I bought a 4-pack, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be my night.
Yeah, right? Oh my god. Wow, this is pretty tasty.
Yeah, it is.
This is really tasty. And it's a big beer, but for even on the lower end of a big beer, I would guess you would say big beers are like 8 and up. But
well, even for me, like high beers like that are like 9.5 and up.
Sure,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean most people would say like
this is like a sleeper. You think it's heavier, but
Yeah.
it's not.
It's true, yeah.
And that's how they get you.
That's how they get you. It's really good though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Real tasty.
I ain't mad at all.
All right, how do you grade it, bud?
Ooh, take one more sip and I'll figure this out. Not as much taste as the almond joy that we were thinking of.
No.
But I'm gonna go ahead just for the deception alone of making me think I'm drinking something heavier, but it's a lot less.
The impressiveness.
I'm gonna go with 4 pounds. 4 pounds. Just because it's like, it's not what we were thinking, but it has so much more to offer than what we were expecting.
Yeah. No, it does. I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3.5.
3.5?
Yeah. I mean, I ain't mad. The flavors are good. The flavors are subtle. I enjoy it enough to. I'd have another for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, 3.5. I mean, it's not bad. It's well put together, but definitely, I guess I was expecting more. And it's not a bad thing.
I get you. I mean, and the thing was, I literally what you told me about it being less ABV. I literally was blown away, thinking I was drinking something heavier.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that I wasn't, that's why I'm so impressed.
Right.
Because I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm drinking something that's gonna get me pretty floored in the morning, but like.
I mean, and especially when you put the word, like bourbon barrel aged, you expect it higher. But I've had bourbon barrel ages that are only 6% alcohol. So I mean, it's really just depending on how long it sits in there too.
Well, fair enough. But I mean,
yeah,
regardless, I mean,
overall.
I'd have another glass of this.
Yeah, I'd have another glass, but then I'd be done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure that you like, Leave a thumbs down if there's something you didn't like about one of our ratings. Make sure that you share on social media. But as always, push that little red button. And don't forget to ring the bell for instant notifications on Dragonfire Entertainment. Also, if there's anything you want to see on future content, make sure that you find that little comment section below. Leave a request, and we'll get it in as soon as we can and leave a shout out for you in the process. But before we leave, as we've said before, make sure you check out Jefe's channel, Beer You, Beer Me. He's got a lot of great things coming out here. He's been doing kind of little thought processes and what he thinks about some of the breweries around the area. Yep. And he's got a lot more in store.
Oh yeah. Now, I've got some very interesting videos coming up.
And we're looking forward to it. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes.
And I'm Jefe.
And we will see you next time on What's Your Poison or anything else on Dragonfire Entertainment. Take care. Be safe. Cheers.